Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another long-awaited episode of Golden State Warrior Fan Room, presented to you by myself, Slimsky. I know it's been a while, Chad, since I did one of these, but as we get closer and closer to the new NBA season, the 26-27 NBA season, I'm looking to be more consistent this year. You look at the makeup of this team. Not necessarily a ton of changes since the last time I did an episode, but I'm looking to be more consistent. And just talk about the different storylines throughout the course of this 82 game season that's approaching and just value and appreciate Steph Curry greatness while he's still here, as a fan while I still can. So with that being said, this episode is going to be more so I could kind of recap on the summer a tad bit, not too much. I really want to talk about the two new additions that the Golden State Warriors just added, and Brandon Williams and Georges Niang, two names that most fans are pretty much familiar with. So, I'm going to dive into that. But if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the pod. I look to talk about NBA games, specifically the Warriors, breaking it down, X's and O's, posting different highlight mixtapes, things of that nature. So if you're interested into that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn those notifications on so you won't miss any more of this great content moving forward. So I'm saying that, man, let's talk about the first signing that happened today, actually. Well, excuse me. When I post this, it will be a day later. So let's talk about Brandon Williams. He just got signed a 1 year deal, essentially for the minimum. Honestly, bro, chat rather. I love the signing. You bring in a guy who can create shots, not only for himself but for others. We've been lacking a guard of this skill sets, honestly, since Jordan Poole got traded. We've been honest here. Not saying they're the same caliber of player because Brandon Williams' shooting numbers isn't necessarily pretty, but he can still create. We need a combo guard that can create. 9 times out of 10, he's going to come off the bench. And so when you think about a scoring punch that can come off the bench, he can definitely be one of those. His time in Dallas was honestly the best stint of his career the past 2 years he was down there. He started off in Portland, if I'm not mistaken, but he learned a lot from Kyrie. You can tell. If you go look up his highlights, there's a lot of resemblance there. Not saying that, he's the same caliber player with Kyrie Irving to any extent, but you can tell he's been under the learning tree, learning a lot from Kai. So shout out to Kyrie for teaching the game. And then he got some familiarity. He was down there with Klay Thompson, the past 2 years. So, you know, gaining wisdom and knowledge from him. But when I look at a guy like Brandon Williams, specifically his role in this team, it's self-explanatory. Just go out there and be another ball handler. I feel like that's something kind of lack, specifically in the guard department the past couple of years. And he's playable. Like I say, his shooting numbers isn't fantastic. It doesn't stand out. His defense is the same. It doesn't stand out. But a sign like this helps us more than it hurt us. Like I said, a combo guard can dribble the ball, make plays, and it allows Steph to play off the ball a tad bit more if they decide to run the both of them out there together. So honestly, I get this sign in a 10 out of 10. When you think about we had two roster spots left and we only had essentially the minimum to give. It isn't gonna get any better than a guy like Brandon Williams for my money. So shout out to Mike Dunleavy, Joe Laker going out there and bringing in a guy like this. I think it makes all the sense in the world to bring him in. So yeah, I love this addition for sure. The next up, shortly, like 6, 7 hours later, got some more news. The Golden State Warriors have now completed the 15-man roster by signing Georges Niang. Truly enough, there was rumors speculating that the Warriors had legitimate interest in both those guys, Brandon Williams and Georges Niang. So now it's all coming into full tuition. So, but when I look at a guy like Georges Niang, you're talking about a veteran. He's been in his league 9 years. He didn't play at all last year, but we think about his role in this team specifically. He still has value. I feel like in today's league, there's like two things you can never have too much of. Number one being wings, because we're more so in a wing orientated type of league. That and then also shooting. You can never have too much shooting. Every position 1 through 5. So when you bring in a guy like Georges Niang, he's a power forward. He gives you size and he can shoot the ball, specifically at that 4 spot. And that's something we've been kind of been missing the past couple of years as well. Not saying he could be that Otto Porter for us, but if you think about Otto Porter Jr. run with us that 1 year we won the championship, man. it was amazing because he was a guy who can play the four, potentially small ball five if need be. He can rebound, and most importantly, space the floor. And he had IQ, but those are different type of players. Otto was better defensively. Georges Niang probably can't guard a park hard, but I will say this, not to discredit him or nothing. I have seen specifically with my Warriors and other teams as well. There have been times where we've seen players that have not been known for their defense, but when they come to a team like Golden State, I think about teams like Miami, just other organizations out there, just to throw names out there. Guys that aren't known for playing defense, when they go to organizations like that, they tend to lock in, man. So another guy like Georges Niang, I wouldn't be surprised with him, you know, playing alongside Draymond. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen at some point this year. Playing alongside Draymond, him just picking his brain and just learning how to be better defensively. I mean, he is a veteran, but you can never stop learning anything, in life in general, despite, basketball. So, excuse me. My thoughts on that signing, Georges Niang, I like it. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. I ain't mad at it. Like I said, it was the last two roster spots, and I think I'm liking the approach from the Golden State Warriors because you've been watching this team closely the past couple of years. We always typically tend to leave that 15 roster spot open, just in case a buy market happen or whatnot. But honestly, bro, chat, that hasn't never been the case. Like we've had that spot open and we never go out there and sign anybody. So I love their approach from the perspective of like, man, when you think about the vets on this team, specifically the guys, Steph, Dre, obviously Jimmy dealing with his injury and whatnot. And then Porziņģis is on the squad. He's older, but he's not that old. But those guys are getting older. So when you think about the course of an 82-game regular season, you need all hands on deck. More guys that can play. And that's why I want to give Georges Niang some credit. He's pretty durable, man. Over the course of his career, the guy plays, and he's available. So pretty sure him and Steve Kerr is going to have a good relationship, to say the least. So, I rock with both the signings, Brandon Williams and Georges Niang. Honestly, both of those signings help us more than it hurts us. So you look at the makeup of this team. So shout out to Mike Dunn for going out there and picking those two guys up. So let's briefly discuss this summer as it comes to an end. Like I said, this is my first time doing this in a while. It's been a minute. So Yaxel Lendeborg, man, the Golden State Warriors drafted him with the 11th round pick in this year's NBA draft. And man, initially my thoughts, I love it because he played all 4 years at college. You're talking about a guy who can instantly plug and play. He fits our system. He gives us size, athleticism. And so when you think about a guy like Yaxel, it's an awesome addition. So shout out to Mike Dunleavy going out there and drafting him. He put on for Summer League. He was the MVP, and the Warriors won the Summer League championship, and he had a huge part to do with that. One thing I say that stood out to me the most was his shooting. His jumper from deep was very efficient, and his form looks very, very good. So shout out to Yaxel. He's going to fit in. It's kind of hard to say that he would not be starting from the jump. So I'm looking forward to seeing Yaxel in his rookie year with the Golden State Warriors. I think that he's going to be great this year. So yeah, that, and then we drafted Lajay Jones. Probably put him on a 2-way contract. So he was a second-round pick. Then other signings we did, we re-signed Al Horford. Al Horford would be 40, I think, and I think this would be his 20th season. Yeah, his 20th season in the NBA. Al Horford, man, he's a veteran. He can space the floor for his high IQ player. Still has value in this league, even at the age of 40. So you've seen what he was able to do against the Clippers in that play-in game. So I'm not mad at that signing. We re-signed Gary Payton II. You all know how GP is, fan favorite. Obviously, Steph Curry love playing with him, so can't get upset at that signing. We re-signed Charles Bassey. I think that's a great addition as well. Talking about a young athletic center. He provides something that's different than Al Horford and Kristaps. Like I say, he's young, he's athletic, he can protect the rim. And so he would definitely be needed over the course of 82-game regular season. We re-signed Kristaps. I like the way that Kristaps had his moments for us. He had some good moments and some questionable moments. But I think that a healthy full season with the Warriors would do wonders for him. Him and Rick Calabrini got a good relationship. Excuse me, for those of you who don't know who Rick Calabrini is, he's basically like the guy who kind of like helped manage injuries and things of that nature. You seen what he was able to do, what he was able to do for Otto Porter Jr. when he was with us, and so on and so forth. So, Rick has been putting in some work with Kristaps, but Kristaps, man, I love his skill sets, particular fit with the team, protect the rim, space the floor, rebound, and I'm actually predicting him to be our second leading scorer this year. I mean, I don't think that's a bold statement. I think he's more than capable of doing it. Just a matter of him being available. So if he can give us like 60 out of 82 games, I consider it to be a W. And then make sure I'm not missing anybody here. I think that was all we resigned. Yeah. Oh, D'Anthony Melton. Yeah, my bad. D-Mel. Honestly, I was surprised that we even brought him back. Not saying that he wasn't worthy of being brought back. I just thought that other teams would have been jumped on him for sure. But when I got the notification that we re-signed him, I'm like, oh, holy crap, we really did it. D-Mel is one of those guys. He had some bright spots a lot last year, but I think that he started to get overwhelmed. There was more responsibilities put on him, and his shooting numbers started to drop tremendously, specifically from 3-point range. So don't get it twisted. Anthony Melton has a ton of value. He plays really, really well next to Steph and Draymond because he can put the ball on the floor, he can play off the ball, he can shoot it, and he can still defend at a pretty high level, I'd say. So, yeah, Anthony Melton was a no-brainer. If you can bring him back, most definitely do that. It was kind of a shocker to me because I just thought other teams would have snagged him up for sure, but he came back to the Bay Area for sure. So, shout out to D Melt, man, and yeah, I love that addition for sure. This is going to be his third year with us, so. Yeah, and then lastly, I don't think I'm missing anybody else. We re-signed Draymond. I don't have to get into no details. It's a 1-year deal. Hey, we all know what Podmine brings to the organization. And then obviously Moses Moody and Jimmy Butler are rehabbing from their respective injuries. Hopefully at some point we see those guys return. No rush. And I think that's another reason why the Warriors is essentially going out there and filling out the rest of this roster because you have to think like, okay, the first half of the year, we for sure never going to be without either one of those guys, Jimmy or Moses. And there's not even a guarantee Moses is going to play this year. Jimmy has a chance to play this year for sure, but Moses still to be determined. So yeah, overall, man, that kind of wraps up the Warriors off season. Essentially, we got training camp less than a month. Um, I wouldn't say I'm excited, but as a Warriors fan, I'm happy to see us go back out there and hoop and start this year out right, build new habits, and just focus on hoops, man. Nothing more. Just get straight to it. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this year go. As the days and weeks go by, we'll be starting a new series called Player Profiles. I will be basically giving my prediction of each player, 1 through 15, their points per game, rebounds, assists, so on and so forth. My predictions on what I think they're going to average this upcoming year. So it should definitely be fun, and it gives me something to do just to be creative in the regular season. So, to all my Warriors fan, make sure you guys tap in for sure. Definitely, it's gonna be a fun year, man. The Western Conference is essentially it's a question mark. Is it wide open? Is it not? I wouldn't say it's wide open, but you have your two Titans at the top, San Antonio and OKC. Those two teams isn't going anywhere. But after them, Minnesota, I love what they did this offseason, bringing in LaMelo Ball. You know, um, the Lakers, I actually like what they've done this offseason. Despite them losing LeBron, they still is a really good team. You can still throw Denver in there if you want to. But after those teams, man, I don't just see a ton of teams being better than us. I think that when healthy and assuming that guys are taking leaps, guys like Geek Santo, Pods, and even Yaxel can come in and contribute at a high level right away. Assuming all that, I think we could be a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. At worst, 7 seed for sure back in the play-in tournament. But when you think about like Houston, I think we're better than them. Clippers, I think we're better than them. Utah, I think we're better than them. Utah going to be fun to watch this year, so make sure you guys tap in with them for sure. Kings, I know we're better than them. Memphis, I know we're better than them. I don't think I'm missing anybody else. I think we could be really good this year for sure. Not gonna get too ahead of myself and say that we're gonna win the championship by any means. Heck, it's easier said than done. But we look at the makeup of this team. Steph Curry wants to win, bro. So who knows? I don't want to get too ahead of myself. It's a full season ahead, man. You never know who's going to be available for trades, and so it's a waiting game for sure. But that's pretty much it on this first episode of Back Man of the Golden State Warrior Film Room. Make sure you guys subscribe and tap in. Follow me on X as well, Slimsky. Pretty much the same as my name here. You know, I talk about Warriors news all day when I'm on there, essentially. So, yeah, I make sure to leave the links to all my socials and things like that so you Warriors fans can tap in with me. But it's going to be a fun year for sure. Let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about the Warriors signing Brandon Williams and Georges Niang. And I appreciate everybody that tap in. With that being said, we out. Peace.